Have you ever tried solving a puzzle while blindfolded? You twist, you turn, you think you're getting closer to the solution. But when the blindfold comes off, the picture is even more scrambled than when you began. That's what happens when men try to decode women using male logic. You're running calculations on the wrong software. It's like trying to install iOS updates on an Android device. It simply doesn't compute. You're using reason where emotion reigns, applying structure where chaos is fluent. For most of your life, you've been taught that women think the same way you do, that love and logic live on the same playing field. But they don't. Their minds aren't broken. They're simply wired for a different mission. And once you understand what that mission is, everything that once made no sense suddenly becomes painfully clear. Because beneath the surface, every smile, every argument, every test is powered by a code millions of years old. A code optimized not for love, but for survival. Let's start with the most jarring truth. Women do not think like you. Not because of some cosmic cliche about Venus and Mars, but because evolution designed your brains for different battles. While men evolved to hunt, build, and problem solve, women evolved to secure resources, protect offspring, and ensure survival through influence rather than strength. As biologist David Buss once noted, the female mind is a master of subtle strategy, honed by the necessity of survival in a world of stronger males. This isn't misogyny, it's anthropology. Denying it doesn't make it untrue. It only blinds you to the game you're already playing. I've watched it happen countless times. A man sits across from me, confused, exhausted. I gave her everything, he says. My love, my time, my loyalty. Why did she leave? And the answer always cuts the same. Because you gave her everything. You completed the puzzle. You stopped being a challenge. In her mind, the game ended, and with it, her attraction. Women don't stay where the game is over. They stay where the game is still alive. It's the law of emotional motion. Attraction demands tension. Remove that tension, and the system collapses. The moment you stop being a challenge, you stop existing as a man in her eyes. You probably remember hearing about those neuroscience studies where they scanned male and female brains during arguments. When men argue, their problem-solving centers light up like a switchboard. They're searching for resolution. But in women, it's the emotional and memory centers that ignite, lighting up like fireworks. While you're focused on fixing the leaky faucet in the relationship, she's replaying every time you forgot to call, every missed anniversary, every subtle moment she felt unseen. You're in the present, trying to solve the problem. She's in the past, reliving the entire history of emotional data attached to you. As Dr. Luann Brizendine, a neuropsychiatrist who studied hormonal effects on cognition, once put it, women have 8 lanes for emotion while men have 1. And that difference changes everything, because when you're trying to reason with her, she's not evaluating logic, she's evaluating how she feels in that moment. Every word you speak runs through a filter you can't see. How does this make me feel right now? That filter overrides logic, overrides memory, even overrides truth. A man may see a stable, loving relationship. She sees a fluctuating emotional weather report. Sunny today, stormy tomorrow. Her emotional barometer decides her reality. So when you give her everything, when you stop being a source of challenge, surprise, or uncertainty, you remove the emotional voltage that sustains her interest. She needs proof, over and over again, that you're still the man worth investing in. It's not rational, it's biological. The same instinct that once protected her lineage now governs her modern relationships. The moment she senses the chase is over, her subconscious interprets it as danger, stagnation, vulnerability, decay. That's why the nice guy always loses, not because kindness is bad, but because predictability kills polarity. Women don't want chaos, they want control of chaos. They want to feel like they're winning your attention, not that they already own it. The moment they feel total possession, they unconsciously destroy it. A man's instinct is to build stability. A woman's instinct is to test it, not maliciously, but because her survival once depended on detecting weakness before it endangered her or her offspring. When you understand that, her tests stop feeling personal. They're biological software running automatic updates. But here's where it gets dangerous. In today's world, those ancient instincts are running on hardware that no longer fits the environment. A man's logical brain clashes with her emotional logic. You think in terms of plans, she thinks in terms of feelings. You want to fix what's broken, she wants to feel what's missing. That's why when you tell her, "We'll figure this out," it calms you, but frustrates her. She's not looking for a plan. She's looking for an emotion. Every disagreement becomes a battle between two different realities. Yours is linear, hers is cyclical. So when you walk away from an argument convinced it's solved, she walks away convinced you still don't understand. That's not deception, it's divergence. And here's where the real revelation begins. Because if logic and emotion are speaking different languages, then the question becomes, what language does her mind actually speak? What code is she running beneath every decision, every reaction, every test? That's what we're about to uncover. The hidden algorithm that governs the female mind. Once you understand it, every contradiction, every manipulation, every confusing behavior suddenly aligns with eerie precision. Here's the framework that unlocks it all, the silent program constantly running beneath her thoughts. Picture it as a background process in the mind, a set of calculations looping endlessly like code on a server. The female brain measures 4 primary variables. The first, how does this make me feel right now? Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. The second, what can I gain from this interaction? It may be attention, validation, protection, or resources. The third, how does this affect my status compared to other women? The fourth, and most relentless, can I do better? That last one never stops running. It's hypergamy's heartbeat, a subconscious quality assurance scan operating 24/7. Psychologists like Dr. David Buss describe it as the evolved strategy of women to seek the highest value mate available at any given moment. It's not a choice, it's code. So when a woman seems restless, unsatisfied, or suddenly distant, she isn't necessarily reacting to what you did wrong. Her internal algorithm has recalculated your relative value. Loyalty in her mind isn't static. It's conditional upon your continued victory in the competition for her attention. The moment you stop winning, she feels abandoned. When you relax, thinking you've secured her love, she interprets it as withdrawal. In her emotional logic, your contentment is rejection. I once counseled a man who couldn't understand why his wife left after 15 years. "I thought being reliable was what women wanted," he said. He was right, until reliability became routine. The fire that once drew her in became background noise. She didn't crave peace, she craved proof, every day. The male brain sees devotion as stability. The female brain experiences it as stagnation. There's a story I often use to illustrate this. A woman leaves her husband because he's too emotionally unavailable, saying she feels unseen. 6 months later, she leaves her new boyfriend for being too emotional. The husband wasn't truly unavailable, he was consistent. The boyfriend wasn't too emotional, he was transparent. What she was reacting to wasn't the men themselves, but the shift in emotional polarity. Her desire feeds on the feeling of winning attention, not simply having it. That's the crucial distinction most men miss. She doesn't crave affection in absolute terms. She craves the sensation of earning affection. Like dopamine from a variable reward system, her satisfaction spikes in the chase, not the capture. Now think about what happens when groups of women spend time together. Studies show their hormonal cycles often synchronize, but that synchronization goes beyond biology. It extends to language, preferences, and emotions. Their speech patterns align, their opinions mirror one another. What looks like bonding is actually a negotiation of hierarchy. Every compliment hides a subtle test. Every story told among friends carries subtext: who's winning, who's envied, who's losing ground. That's the unspoken social matrix, the invisible marketplace of female comparison. In that world, happiness is relative. A woman doesn't ask, "Am I fulfilled?" She asks, "Am I more fulfilled than the women around me?" She doesn't simply want a good man. She wants a better man than other women have. Social media turned this instinct into an empire. What was once local, comparing husbands, lifestyles, homes, has become global. Now she's not just competing with her friends' boyfriends, but with the curated illusions of millions of women online. Every post, every vacation photo, every romantic highlight reel updates her internal scoreboard. And that scoreboard never stops refreshing. That's why even in stable relationships, modern women feel a constant undercurrent of dissatisfaction. They're being exposed daily to endless comparisons their ancestors never faced. You're no longer competing against real men, you're competing against digital phantoms, the highlight versions of every idealized partner that ever existed. Here lies the cruel paradox. She insists she wants commitment, but her attraction fades the moment you commit. She urges you to open up emotionally, but recoils when you become vulnerable. She praises your ambition, but resents the time it demands. It seems contradictory, but it isn't. It's a feedback system designed to test the resilience of your frame. When she demands something, it's rarely about the thing itself. The real question behind every demand is, are you strong enough to hold your ground? Each complaint is a probe, each argument a scan for weakness. The moment you fold, even in the name of love, you fail the test. I knew a man who misunderstood this entirely. His girlfriend complained he never shared his feelings, so one night he did. He opened his chest, told her about his fears, his depression, his grief over his father's death. She listened, nodded, and comforted him. 2 weeks later, she was gone. Later, through a mutual friend, he heard her say, "After that night, I just couldn't see him as my protector anymore." She didn't want his pain. She wanted to know she could reach it if she tried. Once she proved that she could, his mystery was gone. The walls she once longed to breach had crumbled, and with them, her desire. That's how female logic works. She seeks the key, not the door. Once she unlocks it, she loses interest in what's behind it. Her mind doesn't crave answers. It craves the act of discovery, and it doesn't stop with relationships. This same algorithm extends into every domain of her life: friendship, career, even self-image. Her emotional currency is competition. Her validation is social leverage. But where does this algorithm come from? Why is it built this way? The answer lies deeper than culture, deeper than personality. It's buried in biology itself. What we call manipulation or contradiction is often nothing more than ancient survival code running on modern hardware. That's what we'll unravel next. The origins of this extraction protocol, how female psychology evolved to ensure survival, and how in the modern world, that same instinct has turned into emotional warfare. To understand the female mind, you must go back to the oldest of instincts, the need to survive without strength. For most of human history, women's safety and their children's survival depended not on force, but on influence. Evolution programmed their psychology to detect resources, gauge reliability, and secure protection through strategy. It's not malicious, it's mechanical. Every test, every emotional swing, every contradiction is part of that biological software quietly running in the background. When she asks for reassurance, when she withdraws affection, when she suddenly doubts your commitment, those aren't random acts, they're data checks. Can he still provide? Can he still protect? Is the resource stream still flowing? The modern world may have replaced hunting grounds with cities and tribes with apps, but her instincts haven't updated. The same protocol that once ensured survival now plays out in conversations, arguments, and relationships. The problem is that the old software no longer fits the new environment. She no longer needs physical protection or shared food. She needs emotional stimulation, validation, attention. What was once a survival mechanism has become an endless extraction loop. Psychologist Roy Baumeister described it bluntly. In every age, the female strategy has been to extract more than she gives, because extraction was survival. Today, that extraction is emotional, not material. Spend a day reading women's online communities and you'll see it play out in real time. Posts about how to make him chase more, how to test his loyalty, how to regain the upper hand. Conversations built around optimization, of attraction, of attention, of advantage. Their competition isn't just with other women, it's with boredom itself. Modern abundance has replaced scarcity, yet her instincts still whisper, get more, don't settle. But how does she control when she can't overpower? Through psychology. The guilt-fear system is her leverage point. Guilt tells you that you're failing her. Fear warns that she might leave. You're not doing enough. You've changed. You don't care anymore. Each phrase is a line of code rewriting your behavior. When guilt activates, you overgive. When fear triggers, you chase. Together, they turn a man into an obedient algorithm running her commands. And where does this start? In childhood. Watch how mothers treat sons versus daughters. Boys are told they must earn love by being responsible, successful, useful. Girls are told they deserve love for existing. The boy learns achievement equals worth. The girl learns existence equals entitlement. By the time they're adults, he's programmed to prove himself endlessly, and she's programmed to test endlessly whether he still deserves her attention. It's not personal, it's generational code. There's an old behavioral experiment that illustrates this dynamic perfectly. Couples were asked to play a game of resource distribution. When women controlled the pool, they shared less than men. When they didn't control it, they demanded more. The conclusion: men's instinct is protective, give when strong, share when able. Women's instinct is extractive, take when strong, demand when weak. Two operating systems, opposite functions. That's why you see the same cycle repeat in relationships. A woman begins warm, affectionate, playful. The man commits, he relaxes. She reduces affection, increases demands. He works harder to please her. She loses respect. He panics, doubles his effort. She feels repelled and leaves. He's left in ruins asking, "What did I do wrong?" Nothing, except that he surrendered his frame. He followed the manual she handed him, not realizing it was a test. When she said, "Be more open," what she meant was, "Show me if you can resist the urge to please me." When she said, "I need more effort," she was measuring how far she could push before you broke. Once you broke, the game ended. That's the paradox of the female algorithm. It punishes the man who complies. Because in her subconscious mind, compliance equals weakness, and weakness equals danger. Her ancestors who chose weak men didn't survive. Evolution built in a detection system so sensitive that it can read insecurity from a single hesitation in your voice, a delayed text, or an anxious gesture. She doesn't have to think about it. Her body does the math faster than her mind. A change in your tone, a shift in your energy, a single sign of doubt, and her attraction recalibrates downward. She won't even know why she suddenly feels distant. She'll just feel off. That's the detector firing. Men mistake this for cruelty, but it's not. It's risk assessment. To her ancient brain, a fearful or uncertain man is a liability. He signals that the tribe may not survive, that her offspring may not thrive. Her instincts react faster than empathy can intervene. That's why a woman can tell you she loves you deeply, and the next day, feel nothing. Love for her is conditional on safety and stimulation. The moment one disappears, so does the feeling. It's not hypocrisy, it's adaptation. Now understand this next layer and you'll see how the entire modern dynamic has been corrupted. In the past, that extraction protocol kept her alive. In the present, it keeps men trapped. Because today, she doesn't need your resources. She has her own income, social safety nets, and unlimited digital attention. Yet the same ancient hunger keeps running. She no longer extracts food and shelter, she extracts validation, drama, and emotional energy. You've probably seen it in the wild. The woman who starts an argument just to feel desired. The partner who withdraws affection to provoke a reaction. It's not insanity, it's maintenance. Each emotional storm is proof the system is still alive, that she still has influence. And that brings us to the next revelation, the weakness detection mechanism. It's the ultimate tool in her survival kit, the reason so many men who do everything right still lose attraction. Once you grasp how this detection system operates, how it senses fear, insecurity, and neediness before you even speak, you'll understand the final piece of the code. The weakness detector isn't magic, it's instinct refined through millennia of selection. A woman's survival once depended on her ability to sense danger and discern strength before words were ever spoken. That same radar still runs today. She doesn't need a polygraph to know when you doubt yourself. She can feel it in your tone, your pauses, your energy. A single micro-expression, a slight delay in a text, a hesitant okay when she pushes a boundary. That's all the data she needs. Her attraction drops before she's even aware of it. To a man, this feels cruel. To her body, it feels natural. Weakness signals risk. A partner who hesitates might not protect. A partner who submits might not lead. It isn't hatred, it's biology. Her ancestors who misjudged strength didn't pass on their genes, so nature eliminated the blind spots. What remains is a sensitivity that can smell fear faster than you can hide it. Men call women emotional. The truth is, they're strategic with emotion. When she cries, it's often calibration. When she gets angry, it's measurement. When she goes silent, it's control. You treat feelings as problems to fix. She uses feelings as tools to test. The most dangerous misconception men have is believing emotion equals honesty. For women, emotion equals leverage. Modern culture calls this manipulation. Evolution calls it survival. And when you look at history through that lens, patterns emerge. Across civilizations, when female psychology dominates policy and morality, when comfort overtakes challenge, empathy replaces merit, societies decay. Ancient Greece, Rome, Babylon, each fell after the same sequence: indulgence, moral relativism, declining birth rates, external conquest. Weakness invites predators. That same logic applies in relationships. When the man relinquishes leadership, polarity collapses. She stops admiring and starts managing. Attraction dies in the arms of equality. She may say she wants balance, but what she feels drawn to is polarity, the pull between strength and surrender, direction and emotion. Philosopher Camille Paglia once wrote, "Civilization is built by men who suppress their emotions and guided by women who cannot suppress theirs." When that balance flips, entropy begins. You can watch it happen in real time. Scroll through social media, women comparing lifestyles, partners, vacations. Every highlight reel becomes a data point in her internal algorithm. Her satisfaction is recalculated by the minute. The validation economy never sleeps. Each like, comment, or message becomes emotional currency. When the balance dips, drama becomes the deposit. That's why peace often feels like distance, because peace means silence, and silence means no signal of value. Now combine that with hypergamy, the instinctual drive to seek the highest value male available. It's not a moral flaw, it's a biological update function. The cruel joke is that the available metric never stays still. Every story of success she hears, every man she meets raises her expectations. You're no longer competing against real men, you're competing against possibility itself. The standard moves faster than you can satisfy it. Consider a man who spends a decade building success. The day he finally arrives, his wife leaves. She says he's changed. The truth? He didn't change. Her perception of her own value did. In her eyes, she went from the woman who supported him to the woman who's now holding him back. The moment her relative position drops, the algorithm recalibrates and loyalty dissolves. That's why female love feels fluid while male love feels fixed. You fall in love like pouring concrete. It hardens and endures. She falls in love like water. It takes the shape of whatever container holds it and evaporates if not constantly refilled. Men bond through loyalty. Women bond through emotion. When the emotion fades, the bond fades with it. Her brain sorts men into 3 unconscious categories: alpha, genes; beta, resources; invisible, neither. Movement between them is possible but rare. A beta can't easily become an alpha. An alpha who slips loses status permanently. That's why nice guys struggle to recover attraction once they've shown weakness. It's not judgment, it's reclassification. And here's the truth most men never face. Women don't build relationships, they extract from them. Men construct the framework: commitment, stability, provision. Women test that framework until it breaks, then move to the next. It's not cruelty, it's entropy. Everything feminine consumes and renews. The ocean erodes cliffs, the vine overtakes the wall, and the cycle begins again. Look at modern dating through this lens, and it makes brutal sense. 20% of men capture 80% of attention. The rest compete for scraps. Most women would rather share a high-value man than submit to an average one. It's hypergamy unrestrained by consequence. Yet understanding this isn't about resentment, it's about clarity. Once you see the code, you stop personalizing the outcome. You stop believing love will rewrite biology. You stop bargaining with instinct. You start deciding what role you want to play. Because the moment you expose the system, you face a choice. Accept it and play wisely, or reject it and walk away. You can't change it, you can only navigate it. Billions of years of evolution won't be undone by your sincerity, commitment, or sacrifice. She runs her program, you must run yours. Remember this, her brain isn't broken, it's executing design. The problem is that you were told it was designed for love, for partnership, for loyalty. It wasn't. It was designed for survival, extraction, and optimization. In an age where survival is guaranteed, that programming mutates into indulgence. You can close your eyes and return to the comforting illusion, or open them and see the system as it is. Once you do, you can't unsee it. Every test becomes visible, every manipulation transparent, every contradiction predictable. That's not bitterness, that's awareness. Understanding how the female mind operates doesn't mean hating women. It means ending the insanity of expecting them to think like you. They don't. They can't. They won't. Accept that, and you stop being a pawn in someone else's code. You reclaim your own.